Manchester United likely know they can afford too many further slip-ups, if any. In truth, in pursuit of qualifying for the UEFA Women's Champions League. They're outside the top three, within touching distance of it, facing a Spurs side looking for a real scalp, their first ever league win against United in the top flight. A compelling prospect today, Fern Whelan. How do you expect the two teams to go about the task?
Yeah, I think it's a really interesting one today, isn't it? And what could be potentially a really exciting tie. As I said, we spoke about it not so long ago. Last time out these sides met, it was 3-3. Manchester United coming back from 3-0 down, to Tottenham showing that they have got the capabilities to score against its side, but for them it's how they stay in games and how they keep that consistency. As you said, they've not had a good run of form of late, and have conceded, for me, far too many goals of late. So I think first and foremost for them it's about how they tighten up going forward within this game.
First foul sees Olivia Holt brought down by Hinata Miyazawa, the Japanese international. Shuffled all the way back to Lisa Kopp, and Amanda Nilden, a full-back by trade, at centre-back again for Spurs today. Nelson cuts it out, Park moves it on, and United have it for the first time.
Yeah, interesting to see Nilden sitting in that centre-half position as well, where she played against Chelsea. I thought, you know, she did a good job in there. She's one of those players that, you know, is strong in the tackle, likes a good challenge, and I think fits well in that centre-half position, while, you know, the absence of Claire Hunt at centre-half, which, you know, they have been missing here as well.
Yeah, Claire Hunt, one of the absentees for Spurs. They have a few long-term ones. Jess Naz and Maita Oroz have been out with ACL problems, and Claire Hunt had knee surgery in mid-March. She came back from the Asian Cup, actually, having reached the final with Australia with the injury. Wolfer, starting out on the United left today, drops it back to Lundqvist. Another starter centre-back, by the way, for Millie Turner as well, because Dominic Janssen is still unavailable, training but not ready for this game. Spence onto that, picked up smartly, moved on to Hermano, his Holt. It was a bag of tricks, just shut down well by Lundqvist.
I think both sides have just got to be really switched on today, haven't they? You know, we're speaking about goals and going forward, but it's, you know, that leaves you open sometimes to those quick transitions, and you've got to be able to be switched on as a back line from both sides to be able to counter that. So expect the game to be quite expansive today, in that both sides look to go forward and look to do that quickly and in numbers, but it's how you switch on to those quick counter-attacks and transitions.
Referee pulling this one back. Not happy, I think, about where the game was restarted. We're so pleased with Martin Ho's work in his first season as Spurs boss that they recently handed him a contract extension, and the club's best ever Barclays WSL points tally is within their sights. 3 points from equalling it, 4 points from exceeding it from the 21-22 campaign.
Yeah, he's had a fantastic season overall, really, hasn't he? And spoke about how already potentially looking at it, it's been a success for them. I think they'll obviously want to finish strong rather than the way the run of form has been. So opportunities for them now to prove that it wasn't a bit of a fluke, that first half of the season, and show really what they're capable of today.
Let's see what Ellen Morris is capable of here, getting forward from right back. Hermano. Galpset, Holt. United to turn it around. It's forced forward by Turner. Schuler well shut down.
Yeah, it's good defending there from Koga. I think for me, she's a player that's impressed me this season as well. Last time these two sides met, we'll talk about the goals quite a lot, but we don't talk about the goal line clearances. That, you know, she had 2 of those in those games to keep her side in it as well. So big player for them today.
Vinberg for race forward. She has started down the Spurs left today. Galbset can't get around Awujo. Galbset again, a willing runner, always in possession. Couldn't quite shake off Awujo. Bright start from Spurs, though, I think you could argue.
Yeah, definitely, and on that player, Galbset, as well. I think she's finding her feet since coming in January. She's positive, she will go direct, and she has got a turn of pace about her. I think Awujo did well just to stifle her there.
Holt. Mano. Koga slips it in. Galbset. Lindberg. Tamberg in the middle, and the cross is beyond her and beyond everyone. But good build-up play again from Spurs.
Yeah, it's really, really good build-up from Spurs. Galbset just finding that little bit of space in between the pocket. Manages to play it out onto this left-hand side, but the shot's obviously clearly over the bar on that occasion, but just shows that Spurs are starting themselves really bright, which is what we said they needed to do going into today's game.
Mark Skinner, the longest-serving Barclays WSL boss right now. His last deal was signed back in April 2025. Wolfer.
See Rolfo as she picked the ball up there in the midfield. She was just expecting Hannah Lundqvist just to be a little bit higher out on that left-hand side to be able to help her to start that attacking momentum play down that left-hand side, and I think that's what Manchester United will want more of today, is to see those full-backs, Riviere, Lundqvist, joining in those advanced positions.
Second ball runs to Holt. Well, Galbset looked up a couple of times in the opening stages of the game and do so again here. And Mano. Lindberg's made a run after picking up that splendid pass. Spence. And Mano. Oh, what a clever ball that is. Galbset. And just in the way at the right time was Miyazawa.
Yeah, Miyazawa does really well there, but not the first time we've seen Galbset just picking the ball up in between the lines, making those clever runs just off the back shoulders of the defenders.
Holt collects the long throw and was just unaware that Lundqvist was about to pick her pocket. Awujo. Spurs have it, but at first sight as well of that long throw from Ella Morris that was effective against Chelsea in the FA Cup.
Yeah, created a chance, didn't it, for them in that FA Cup, which, you know, they were so close to get themselves back into against Chelsea to nearly take it into extra time.
Moved back by Blackstad. Tamberg Holt up. And Tullis Joyce steps out. What did you make of Spurs in that FA Cup tie? For narrowly lost in the end to that Birmingham wonder strike for 2-1 at Kings Meadow.
Yeah, I think that shows, though, doesn't it, that that was what made the difference. It took a wonder strike from Chelsea to be able to win that game. I thought Spurs held their own. I thought they were really strong. Throughout the 90 against Chelsea, they just switched off at times within the game at key moments, but did really well to get themselves back into it. So I think they can take a lot of positives from that on the day. Even to be able to bring on players like Holt. She didn't even start the game, she came on and made the difference. Shows just how much strength and depth they do have in their side now.
See Leonard Gunnar-Williams amongst the substitutes behind Riviere taking the throw in here, having won the under-23 Euro with England during the international break. His Spurs press aggressively. Turner rushed into the pass.
Yeah, it's fantastic pressure from Tottenham, and I think, you know, as you've just said, they have started the brighter of the two sides in this opening 10 minutes, and that pressure from them causes errors, and that's obviously what they're trying to do. Manchester United can't quite find themselves a foothold into the game. The last 2 or 3 spells of possession they've given it away cheaply.
Amano. Back to Morris. Koga just carries it with ease. Holt again. Sees the run of Tamberg right onto her toe. Morris trying to get in behind Lundqvist, but that's brilliant defending for the Sweden international.
Yeah, really good defending there from Lundqvist. But again, it's that turn of play when you do have the ball, trying to keep hold of possession when you're coming out, because you've got 4 Tottenham players all around the ball. We'll see it again here. Just really composed. Doesn't just kick it out of play, keeps hold of the ball, keeps possession, tries to bring her teammates back into it with her.
Amanda Nilden, whose sister Matilda is on the Spurs bench today again, the winter recruit.
Yeah, I played with Amanda when I played at Brighton quite a few seasons ago now. As you're looking at me, I know I retired a long time ago now. But no, she's a quality player. Used to more seeing her in those full-back positions and driving forward. She's got a wicked left foot. But probably what people won't see in her, she's actually a super quick player as well, so that will help her today in coming up against the likes of Jess Park and Leah Schuller.
Tamberg nearly on the end of the Galbset cross. That all came from smart build-up involving Nilden. Galbset again, who's been really busy off of the ball. Morris. Galbset finds Holt. That's an excellent ball. Wimberg can't shoot. Tamberg can't either. Spence. Galbset might as well have a pop. And a deflection takes it behind for a Tottenham corner.
It's really, really positive play there from Galbset, isn't it? She started so well. Manages to just... They cause Manchester United all sorts of problems within this box, but she's first to react when it comes back from Spence. And why not? She hits it, striking a deflection as it comes through. We see it again here. I think it's Nilsson, the original deflection, just takes it away from goal. But a real opportunity for Spurs here with the corner.
So Wimberg to swing this in. And more hanging up, really. And Tamberg's looping head is onto the roof of the net. So Spurs get 2 meaningful attempts away. Ellen Morris was part of the pack, trying to meet that as well.
Yeah, it just adds to the positive start. The corner was looping in from Wimberg, and it's Tamberg who rises the highest, but you can see it's high fives all around because they know they've started off really positively and really brightly in this first opening 15.
Tullis Joyce has the short options here. Will she use them? She's inclined not to. Galbset. Wimberg collects. Blackstad.
Just see there as Wimberg had hold of the ball, Tamberg was just telling her, just be calm, just relax on the ball, we don't need to force it. And you know, you can see Tottenham doing that. They're not afraid to just keep hold of the ball for 2, 3, 4 more passes before they then try and penetrate and go forward. It's really clever play from them.
Upset. It's been a key part of the fact that Spurs have had 2/3 of the ball. What a start from them here. And Skinner was talking about the fact that Spurs can play direct, not in a long ball way, but move the ball quickly, and that they're good on the counter-attack. Well, they've been the dominant side in possession so far. Wimberg's cross, Tamberg peels off, and she did connect with it.
Yeah, it's just when you have these spells of possession, isn't it? And you know what you do with the ball at the time, and they don't want to come to this point where they rue not actually scoring when they do have this, you know, this real drive and momentum, and they do have a lot of the possession. Tottenham Hotspur, it's how they can turn that into goals now.
Rolfo, Awujo and Lundqvist. Miyazawa so central to the way that United tick, and no surprise that one of the most promising attacking moments anyway goes through her. Rolfo will collect after Rivier's overhit cross, and that was well dealt with by Morris.
Yeah, it was good defending there from Morris, wasn't it? Just snuff out the danger really from Rolfo as she tried to beat her down the line on her outside. But good play from Miyazawa initially in the build-up, just to find that space and find Jade Riviere really high up on that right-hand side. That's what you want to see from Manchester United, doing a little bit more of that to bring the full-backs into play.
Spurs pressure again, forces the turnover. Spurs actually come into this having lost 3 in a row in the Barclays WSL, and many of those fans would have been at Kings Meadow for the match that made it 4 in all competitions. The narrow FA Cup loss to Chelsea. More concerning perhaps the margin by which they were recently beaten by Manchester City and Arsenal, losing both of those games, bizarrely, by the same 5-2 scoreline.
Yeah, and the opening 20 minutes or so, wasn't it, where Alessia Russo scored that hat-trick against them for Arsenal. Shows just how vulnerable they can be at the back, though, even when they're beating teams like Aston Villa 7-3. You're looking at the 3 that they concede, and so, you know, it's about them tightening up and not switching off. A lot of the goals were from, you know, switching off in their own possession, maybe ball watching at times, and in and around their own box as well.
They've kept it well here as Spence moves it on to Galbset, trying to shrug off Awujo. Wimberg. Hamano. A couple of players around the back post, including Tamberg, who actually lost sight of it in the end. Spence curls an effort. The ball slightly behind her when she tried to whip it goalwards.
Yeah, but really positive to see her in those areas. She started that move off herself, actually, and it came from really deep, and then she's managed to get herself up really high up to be able to be the one taking the shot from the edge of the box. But it's a, you know, it's a ball in from Hamano that just hangs it up, makes it really difficult. Riviere does really well to be able to defend the first ball, and Spence can't quite connect with it how she would have liked.
Turner back to Tallis Joyce. Just go all the way through to Schuler.
Probably more a bit fortuitously though, rather than accurately really with the ball. It looks a little bit nervy when the ball's coming back to Tallis Joyce, and there's a few times where they're looking to go long and go direct, which at times can work, but of the last couple of ones it's actually given the ball away for Manchester United. Needs to just get hold of the ball and keep hold of possession for longer spells.
Julia Zigiotti Olmo absent from that Manchester United midfield today. And sure enough, the ball goes into midfield. United lose it. They have it back again. Riviere. Park in support. Awujo. Lundqvist does get forward from left back eventually, but Koga and Hamano tried to move it away.
Yeah, Hamano does really well there, good work ethic from here, but I think you're right. I think just as Awujo looks up, she expects to see Lundqvist bombing on down that left-hand side, and she wasn't quite there in the initial, and it just allowed Tottenham players to get themselves back into shape.
She was one of the January signings. She's in possession here. Wolfer. Lundqvist. Wolfer takes on Morris. And United get a corner in front of the south stand.
Yeah, opportunity now for Manchester United just to get themselves a foothold in the game. It was actually really good defending from Morris down this here right-hand side, just to stifle Rolfo and put it out for a corner.
Maya Letizia will take the corner, the Manchester United captain. Wujo in front of Lisa Kopp, right on that goal line. And it's straight onto the roof of the Spurs net. #121st start today in a row for Maya Letizia, a player you know well, Fern.
That's just phenomenal, isn't it?
How's she done that?
Unbelievable stat. And, you know, not one that actually surprises me, knowing Maya and having played with her for a couple of seasons at Brighton. She was always the player that would be first into training. She's got that dedication. You always knew she was going to be that type of player that would just never, ever want to miss a game. But for me, it does beg the question for Manchester United, do they have that strength and depth at centre-half in those positions to be able to rotate at times? Because she is going to need that rest at some point. You know, I know she can do it and would love to not miss a game, but it would nice to be able to think that she could get rotated in there at some point.
Of course, the depth of Manchester United squad has been a major talking point. It has been for Mark Skinner as well. A message he was hammering home as well from his press conference this week. Especially for United are to get in the Champions League again.
Yeah, I just think we spoke about it at the turn of the season when they brought in, you know, those signings in January, and it looked like they had that, you know, phenomenal depth, and we just saw the amount of games increasing with Champions League and the injuries pick up, that all of a sudden it highlighted just how much they maybe still need that more added depth in the side.
Park, a ripple of expectation, because we all know what she can do when breaking through the centre of the pitch like that. Riviere has it, shifts away from Vinberg. A real pace here from the right back, and United have options in there. Rolfo back in, Koga, and up by Park. Well, United backed off, it's still in play, and thumped clear by Blackstad.
It's a great bit of play there, wasn't it, from Riviere down that right-hand side. Showing what can happen for Manchester United when they do find that space in those wide areas. We're seeing Jess Park just coming into the game a little bit more as she's coming in off that right-hand side, coming into those central areas. As you said, we do know what she's capable of with the ball at her feet.
Riviere forward again, great work with the 1-2, Awujo. Riviere might be offside here, and she is. But a couple of promising moments involving the Canadian international.
Yeah, and an opportunity to challenge that left-hand side of, as you say, Nilden and Blackstad, and just to find that space down that right-hand side that can challenge them and just do it a little bit quicker. It's been a little bit tentative for Manchester United in the first opening 20 when they have had the ball.
Koga. Let's go back to Kopp. It was a great ball from Koga. Wondered if it was loose, but Wimberg and Galbset tidy up. Morris. Romano and Spence can't get that 1-2 going. Park. United's form book reads 1 win in 7. Only victory in 7 matches in all competitions, coming against Everton, and that was a late one. Back-to-back Champions League defeats to Bayern. They lost in the League Cup final to Chelsea, went out in the FA Cup to Chelsea, and most recently in the league, the 3-0 loss to Manchester City.
Yeah, it doesn't make for good reading, does it, though, when you look at the form, especially even that when you look at the draw they have with West Ham. They had opportunities to put that game to bed within it, but it just feels like even the first 20 minutes here, it just feels a little bit tired from Manchester United, not just in physical but in mind. Some of the passes going astray. You just wonder as it's tailoring off to this latter stages in the season. As you say, the difficulties they've had with keeping their squad fit. They do have positives in that now, though, bringing, as you said, Sandberg back into the side. Toon hopefully coming in back fresh for them, and Mallard sitting on the bench as well, so they've got players that can come on with energy. It's just whether they're trying to get it into this game now, but I do think they've managed to control the midfield a little bit better within these last 10 or so minutes. Galbset and Holt were finding a lot of space within the opening 15, which they've limited them to in the last 10 or so.
Koga, loose touch and then does give it away. Schuler shut down by Spence, and Leah Schuler yet to really get into this yet for Manchester United.
No, and she's put under pressure straight away. Ball's given away by Koga, but then she's put straight under pressure by Spence within that midfield. It's about, can you get it quickly face forward and then find players in and around you? But Tottenham do well with the pressure when they do lose the ball. They've got that mentality that they want to win it straight back, and I think that comes from Martin Ho. Spoke about him before, what he wants to bring to this team. It's not just about that quality in possession, but it's that work rate and that endeavour out of possession as well.
Schuler, that is good link-up play. And Rolfer is held back. Elsewhere in the Barclays WSL right now, Chelsea were 1-up at Everton through Sam Kerr's goal, but Yuka Mamiku actually scored a wonderful goal here for Everton a few weeks back as he got the equaliser. So 1-1 between Everton and Chelsea, and still goalless in the other 12 o'clock kickoff down in Bromley, other side of the River Thames, to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. London City 0-0 with Leicester City. Liverpool West Ham later in the day. Park. Well, that's right in front of the assistant referee. He's not given a free kick.
Still down though. She looks to be in quite a bit of discomfort over there, Jess Park.
Back to her feet and hobbling. Galbset around the corner. Straight stuck into it, Park, but Wimberg nearly came away with it regardless. Galbset given straight back to Spurs by Manchester United. Hermano, Spence, Morris, Holt. Holt again. United do stop it, but there was plenty of movement off of the ball there from Spurs.
Yeah, it was really clever, intricate play from Spurs. Hermano heavily involved in that. And Drew Spence coming in off the edge of the box, but again, the original giving the ball away was Fallon Tullis-Joyce. You know, lack of composure, giving the ball straight back to Tottenham Hotspur, which, you know, is potentially like slightly uncharacteristic of her as well.
Galbset onto that second ball. Rolf forgets it. Hamano. Lovely touch of Spence and well set. Micah Hamano away, two weight in the middle. And it's a good recovery challenge from Hannah Lundqvist.
Yeah, this is really good here, just from Drew Spence. Defence splitting pass from here. And Hamano gets her head up. Lundqvist does really, really well with the recovery, just to put this one out for a corner. But again, it's really, really good link-up play down this right-hand side. And again, Hamano heavily involved.
The Spurs corner in on Tullis-Joyce, who punches well. Lundqvist eventually away. Back with Amanda Nilden. And Spurs going to get another corner here. Touch behind from Lundqvist again.
That's good from Spurs, just to keep that sustained pressure on when the original corner was cleared. Ball coming in from Wimberg, and it's Tullis-Joyce with the punch. Few Spurs players down in the 18-yard box, and sure what occurred there, but really good for them to keep that pressure on and get themselves another corner.
So another chance for Matilda Wimberg to swing this in. It's in on the keeper again. Oh, well claimed. It was messy. Letizia was in her way, but Tullis-Joyce holds on.
Yeah, now we see them play out from the back. Just wanting to try and find that composure a little bit. Manchester United, Tullis-Joyce eventually with the claim from the corner.
Park. Dealt with by Nilden and Spence. Team gave everything against Chelsea, said Martin Ho in that FA Cup tie, pointed to the fact it was a wonder strike that won the game. But was hoping in terms of the performance there might be some momentum coming into this one with United.
Yeah, and I think it's needed for them, isn't it? Just can give them that little bit of boost and a little bit of confidence that they did compete with Chelsea for long periods in that game. So it's about coming into today and, you know, taking that momentum from that a little bit, because they were minutes away from taking them to extra time.
It's interesting watching Koga. She's really following players deep into United half, isn't she, from centre-back?
Yeah, she's not making it easy for them at all, and she knows that if she does come out of position, she's got the cover from potentially Morris, from Nilden, tucking in, condensing that space. So she's been given that freedom to go in and press and win it early, win it higher up, and then get her team on the front foot when she does win the ball.
Meanwhile, London City Lionesses are now 1-1 with Leicester. They just fall in behind, but level quickly. Nikita Paris supplying Lucia Corrales to make it London City 1, Leicester 1. It's still 1-1 between Everton and Chelsea. And not impossible that some of the other clubs playing Chelsea, although it is Leicester next, could do United a favour and take points off of them. They have not been the invincible side of last season.
No, they haven't, but ultimately, as you say, we spoke about, the United need to win their games as well. And, you know, they've got difficult fixtures in Spurs today. Coming up, they've got Brighton, who, you know, we saw beat Manchester City yesterday. So And then they've got Chelsea in that final game of the season, so they have got a difficult 3 games ahead of them, which they'd look at on paper, this one, potentially the next one winnable, but you do have to actually go out and win those games. And, you know, even the stats are saying to us here, Tottenham are well and truly on top, aren't they? 6 shots to Manchester United's 1. Tottenham are dominating possession, so they have to find themselves a way to get themselves back into this game a little bit.
United level on points with Arsenal at kick-off, but Arsenal have 2 games in hand. And they'll have 3 at full time because they're not playing this weekend in the league. Riviere, Galbset, Wujo, cut out by Morris, who springs forward. Hamana's trying to make a run down the line, but isn't quite on the same wavelength as her teammates, Tamberg as well.
No, but I'm just looking in the different levels of energy that I'm seeing, and you see Morris get on the ball, she springs and she leaps forward. And then if you're looking at the direct contrast, some of the Manchester United, it just looks a little bit sluggish in the recovery runs and being able to get back and potentially keep up to the pace of the tempo that Tottenham are setting today.
Was that in part? I mean, could it be an element of rusting? I mean, they haven't played since April the 1st, when they went 2-1 down to Bayern Munich, which is the product of a season where they have mainly, as Mark Skinner pointed out, had games every 3 days. We'll get back to that in a moment, because Wimberg is pressing Spurs upfield on Jess Park. It's not directly her remit, but puts in an excellent defensive challenge.
No, and she will do that. She's got a phenomenal work rate, Jess Park, up and down the field as well.
Spence. Galbset had faith she could take that on the half-turn. Clip forward by Spence. Tamberg. Onside. Busy penalty area. And Spence's pass deflected. Tullis Joyce can't stop it going behind, so Spurs add to the corner count. Played some crucial passes in midfield today, Drew Spence.
Yeah, again, I was just about to say, it's the right idea from Spence. You can see Galbset again picked up a great position in between the lines, and she's tried to thread it through to her, but that's her first thought, isn't it? Every time we want to be able to go forward and penetrate and take as many players out as possible.
I think Blackstad getting some treatment pitch side at the moment for Spurs. Hung up by Wimberg. Tamberg leaps. It's still alive and directed at goal, and Spurs get an attempt on target. Tullis Joyce is not happy about something, but she holds on regardless.
Ah, she's furious, Tullis Joyce. You see she wants to come out and claim, and Galbset's just putting her body in the way and making it difficult for her, but there's not a foul in that for me. Again, the ball's floating around in the air and looping directly straight into Tullis Joyce's hands there, which again makes it easier for her in the end, but yeah, she just looked not pleased about the pressure that's on her, but they're obviously allowed to press the goalkeeper.
So Spurs are forced into a change. Blackstad back out. Spence to Holt. Galbset. She has looked like a good January signing for Spurs, Signe Galbset.
Yeah, the Norwegian doing doing really well for Spurs since coming in. You can see why today. It's a link-up play as well.
Finds Hermano, and Millie Turner did the right thing, you'd argue, by putting that behind.
Yeah, there was no messing about there from Millie Turner. I mean, she will do that. She's, you know, she's an out-and-out defender, and she just wants to protect the goal on all accounts. But again, it's Hermano making it difficult, getting the ball in and around. Tries to get the pull back in. Can't quite make it happen there.
Have looked threatening from these Spurs. And again, Galbset is in front of Tullis Joyce. There's a couple of players down as well. It's Riviere and Koga.
Yeah, not quite sure what occurred there off the ball. We were all focused on the corner taker in the first instance of that, but she looks to be in quite some pain in there. But she's having a bit of a tussle with Koga, but she's definitely not happy.
Focusing your attention on her knee, it would appear, at the moment. Made her 50th appearance for United earlier on this season against London City, a game during which she scored. Doesn't look entirely comfortable as Spurs will now whip this in. Look at that impressive travelling support from Manchester United in the North Stand as well. In on the keeper, and well, that was on target. Tullis Joyce knew it.
Yeah, she couldn't afford to make any mistakes with that one. It was just creeping in again. Like you say, you see Galbset just standing on her. Again, she has to come and take Millie Turner there with her as well.
Well, Tullis Joyce can't let go of this, and in truth, every time I'm seeing these, I'm not seeing a great deal from Sinja Galbset.
No, and she's not even looking at her. She's looking at the ball the whole time. She is literally just standing there, which isn't really impeding her too much, but she's obviously not happy about it.
Training round routine. Wimberg back in, and it was under the bar, but into the hands of United's first choice keeper. Riviere. That's a great ball. Park. Not sure how she kept it after that initial touch, but she does. Schuler. Away by Neilton.
Not seeing Jess Park get on the ball too much within this game, but when she does get on it, she still even looks like that one player that is going to be able to do something for Manchester United. Finding Schuler there, but again, it was just a little bit sluggish with the touch.
Be interesting to see what Martin Ho does at half-time. He does have Melvin Mallard amongst the subs. No Elizabeth Turlin, their top scorer. Yeah, Galton is still out, injured as well. And when will he turn to Ella Toon?
Yeah, I think for me, though, they need that energy, potentially just saying about Melvin Mallard. I think she's been phenomenal for them this season, arguably one of their best players. You know, she can score goals. She is that player that can be direct and drive at people and, you know, take the game by the scruff of its neck at times. And I think this is what it needs a little bit for Manchester United. But, yeah, wait to see what he does within that second half.
Nilton resets to Lisa Kopp, who's yet to make a save, the Dutch international this afternoon. Koga. Hermano. Morris. Wimberg has popped up centrally, and it looks like Blackstad can therefore try and enter that space. Just one additional minute.
Yeah, they're quite fluid in the movement, Tottenham, aren't they? We've seen Drew Spence here now just drifting out onto that left-hand side as well.
1 minute.
1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute.
Doesn't quite run for Tamberg. Hermano trying to get onto the scraps. Miyazawa away. Managed to get the ball into United's box plenty today, Spurs.
Yeah, you just feel that the talk in the Chelsea game they played was they didn't take their chances. Today, potentially, have they, squandered a few opportunities to maybe take their chances as well. Ideally for them, they're wanting to try and score before the break, and given all the momentum they've had.
Blackstad. Oh, Hermano's there, and so is Tamberg. And the frustration is that they haven't really stretched Tullis Joyce in this first half.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think for all the possession and all the, the dominance, how many clear-cut chances can we say they've had? It's been few and far between.
And we can see Mallard at the bottom of our picture. Spurs 0, Manchester United 0, second half on the way. And a change that makes sense. United needs to invigorate themselves in some way, and Melvin Mallard, having a best Barclays WSL season ever in terms of numbers, has come on the right side of their attack.
Yes, literally the change we spoke about before the first half, wasn't it? That she needed to come on. I thought Arujo looked like she was finding it difficult in the middle of the park, but in Mallard you've got someone who'll come on and do what she's doing here and taking it at players.
And Mallard immediately, look at that, 35 seconds into the game, and the French international showing what she's all about.
Yeah, and she plays with a smile on her face, plays with that freedom Mark Skinner talks about that he wants his side to have, and that's really, really positive from her. Trying to beat Blackstad down the right-hand side, and Nilden having to double up in the middle.
6 goals in the Barclays WSL, 10 in all competitions this season, as well as 9 assists. Rolfo, the summer recruit from Barcelona, stands on United's corner in front of the away ends. Oh, and it's Spence who hurries it away. It wasn't comfortably dealt with by Spurs at all. Hermano. Letitia forward from that set piece originally.
Yeah, we're already seeing a little bit of a tempo shift, aren't we, in the way Manchester United are approaching the game and approaching this second half. It needed to come up 30–40%. And I suppose we're seeing that within the first kind of couple of minutes of this second half of how they want to approach this game.
Think back to that game at Villa Park, Fern, couple of months ago, where United were pretty flat first half. Scored from a corner, Zigiotti Olmo, Hansen equalised, and the second half made changes, played with more purpose and looked much better. Yeah,
definitely, and that was what my fear was for Tottenham a little bit, that Manchester United do have the capabilities to be able to do that and be able to have a pretty flat first half, but be able to turn things around quite quickly. So almost like Tottenham needed to be able to score whilst they had that momentum.
Do you ever go in at half-time thinking that we should have made more of that first half? We know they're going to be better coming out in the second half.
Yeah, I think potentially they might be thinking that when they go in, but also they'll be taking the positives that they have dominated that first half, and they'll probably be going in saying as players, look, we are on top, we need to stay on top, and this is how we do it. Rather than potentially looking at maybe negatives that we haven't scored, it will be actually, okay, how do we go and do that? How do we go forward and get that important goal?
Shake of the head there from Martin Ho. On his haunches on the touchline, and if you're a regular viewer of games on TV at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, you'll know that everything's around the other way. We've got our cameras on the other side, to the south stand, normally to the right. The Spurs famously beat United in the Barclays WSL for the first time, scoring down that end. The Leicester win in the FA Cup semi-final. It's the other way round, so we can see the dugouts for you, and Mark Skinner barking at his players for an improved second-half performance. Park, they've won it high. Rolfo. That's a good challenge from Koga.
Really, really good defending there from Koga. But that initial press from Leah Schuller is what started that, and Manchester United winning that possession and forcing that error. Started the game with a little bit more intent and energy into this second half.
Koga hangs it forward, and it's onto the chest of Tamberg, but She came back from an offside position.
Yeah, it's a shame she was offside there, because that's actually a really clever ball there from Koga, just to skip Manchester United's press and try and go straight into the feet of Tamberg.
Turner. And now Jess Park playing centrally for United.
Yeah, and sometimes that's where we see she's a little bit more dangerous, Jess Park, when she can come in and make midfielders work, and just to help control that midfield a little bit. They were getting overrun in the first half.
Galbset seemed unaware that Rolfer was behind her. It's a clean strike and just turned wide by Tullis Joyce. That's a moment where the goalkeeper's been at full stretch for the first time, I'd argue, this afternoon. And Olivia Holt picking up the ball for the effort.
Yeah, good work from Galbset initially. Manchester United can't quite clear the lines. Holt does as much as she can to try and find that bottom corner. And Fallon Tullis-Joyce does well as she manages to make this save from Holt. First eye towards goal, first thought to try and get it in the bottom corner, but Tullis-Joyce equal to it.
Outstanding this season, Olivia Holt. Comes the delivery, and Rolfer just hurried away for United. Bad news for United is that Chelsea have retaken the lead at Everton. Sam Kerr shortly after the restart. So Everton 1, Chelsea 2 at Goodison Park.
Yeah, we see Jess Park here just sitting that more central but higher position, just supporting the press now for Leah Schuller. And then May Letizia, you see her coming from deep there just to try and make the tackle. She came steaming out there, didn't she? But looks like she's come off the worst of the two.
What did she see there, do you think, Fern, to go after Spurs left-back, trying to invert into the middle of the pitch?
The ball, ultimately. She's came and thought that she could win that, didn't she? So, as just the initial touch from Blackstad, just to take it out of her path, the momentum she's coming with, she couldn't slow down in time.
Maybe United do need to take more risks in this second half. Reminder, London City Lionesses still 2-1 up on Leicester. And it's hard to see the Foxes not finishing bottom of the Barclays WSL. Turner, a sweeping ball out to Riviere Mallard. Heavy tackle from Blackstad.
Yeah, it was, but I think what I liked there, though, in the original build-up play to that was the awareness from Millie Turner, just to play this ball out onto the right-hand side and to do it quickly. It's clumsy, really, from Blackstad into Mallard. But it's the intensity of that play that they know they need to step it up, Manchester United, and Turner's trying to find that space out wide earlier.
Letizia. Turner. Well covered off by Spurs. It's back to Lisa Kopp. Mind with the Spurs situation, they can't qualify for the Women's Champions League. 9 points behind the top three with 3 games to go. Yes, that's catchable, near impossible anyway, and then this crazy difference in goal difference. But Martin Ho's been pretty open, and some of his players, including Tinka Tamberg, about the ultimate ambition to be a Champions League team.
Yeah, and it's to talk about the future progression for them, isn't it, and what they want to do moving forward, and potentially getting the, the highest ever points tally.
Well, this attack breaks down in disappointing fashion after good work from Galbset in the middle of the pitch originally. Trying to get her and Olivia Holt into the same team firm, which he didn't do for the Chelsea game.
Yeah, we spoke about it before, didn't we? Had Holt on the bench to try and come on and make a difference. I think for me, they are better when they do find a way to get the two of them into the side. And Gaupset is a player that I like to see playing slightly higher up, whether it's in that 10 position or whether she can join in from the wide and come in on the right a little bit. But yeah, for me, you've got to try and have the two of them in the side because they both bring such fantastic qualities.
Lundqvist. Wolfer. Now Parker has been a joy to watch this season. Can't find a teammate, cut up by Gaupset.
She's on some like 11 goal contributions in the WSL this season, Jess Park, which is phenomenal. I don't think anyone would have predicted that being the season that she would have coming over from Manchester City, but you know, she's hit the ground running and she's not potentially being as involved in this game as she'd like, but I think now you say she's coming into these more central spaces. We'll see that now.
The Spurs are stretched, having getting it away. Mallard thumps an effort at Kopp, and that's the first time she's had to beat away a Manchester United shot. Good work from the substitute.
Yeah, and we see what different substitutes can make for Manchester United. Miyazawa just finding Mallard out on the right-hand side, manages to get the shot off and cause problems for Kopp. Just showing what she's capable of and what she intends to do now she's come into this game. And again, playing with that smile on her face, but she knew that's a missed opportunity. But again, a second try at this from the corner.
She has lifted Manchester United, there's no doubt, since the restart. Well, the last one of these from Fridolina Rolfo came in low to the near post, and this does likewise. Hamano. Wimberg can't collect, moved on by Park. Riviere, there's only Mallard in the middle and a number of Spurs shirts, but she might still get there! She does, but into the Spurs side netting. Melvin Mallard threatening again.
Yeah, as you say, it was only Mallard that was the player in the Spurs box amongst 4 or 5 Spurs players, but she's the player that we know what she's capable of, and it's great build-up play down the right-hand side. Riviere continuing her run, gets her head up. Mallard just meets the ball, but again, it's wide of the post, but yeah, it's a good start from her since she's come into this game. And if you're Manchester United, you're thinking probably need to gamble a little bit more and get more bodies in the box going forward now.
Started as the number 9, wearing number 9 in their last game against Bayern in the Champions League. Can't get beyond Blackstad this time. Wimberg, oh, she's won it back. Oh, she's everywhere at the moment, Mallard. Blackstad.
She's lost out on that occasion with it, Mallard, but you see as soon as she gives the ball away, she wants to win it back.
And she's in the box as Schuler peels out to the Manchester United right this time. In terms of attacking options, Manchester United still have Ellen Vangerheim, the winter signing from Hammarby, to come on, and the quality of Ella Toon as well. Youngster Jess Anderson amongst the subs, having recently made her Barclays WSL debut. Spurs goal kick, in fact.
Yeah, just headed onto the back of Millie Turner there for out for a corner. Out for a goal kick, sorry.
Ella Toon in discussion here, and in fact so is Anna Sandberg, so I wonder if they're the next moves, Fern.
If they were to come on, they're 2 real positive substitutions for Manchester United. You know, the quality that Ella Toon brings. She can score goals, but she's obviously more not a provider of goals as well, which is what Manchester United need today.
Given away by Spurs. Schuler in towards Mallard, Spence away. Riviere. Lundqvist, 3 in red waiting, including Schuler. Riviere moves it back. Nelson. Can barely remember her getting on the ball really in that first half in United's midfield, the Norwegian international.
Yeah, they were slightly overrun in midfield within that first half. Holt and Gaupse finding a lot of space, but they seem to have figured this out a little bit more now, Manchester United. Again, we're seeing Lundqvist coming higher, Riviere coming higher, creating that overload in wide areas now, Manchester United.
Spence. To further hammer home the idea that United need to go for this, Chelsea are now 3-1 up at Everton. Ellie Carpenter with the goal. So Everton 1, Chelsea 3. Chelsea 2 points above Manchester United at kick-off.
Yeah, I mean, for them and their push for this Champions League place, a win here today is vital. We spoke about it, it's key for them, especially with Arsenal, with the games in hand that they've got breathing down their necks with their run of games that they're going to have to try and catch up on the points.
Hamano slipped in by Gaupse. Tamberg in the middle, better from Spurs. And they do progress down the other end of the pitch.
Yeah, it's an area where we see them be so dangerous within the first half. Tottenham not seen it as much into this second half, but again, a player like Hamano, who can be so dangerous, scores, assists as well. You see it down that right-hand side, getting her side back into this now.
Wimberg on it. Chance for Spurs perhaps to take a bit of a breather as well, having chasing United players. Tullis choice, 2 hands on it. Only as far as Olivia Holt. What trick does she have up her sleeve here? Oh, she's through Rolfo. She backed herself, and it's off the line. Olivia Holt nearly scoring for Spurs. Hamano with the effort. It's back out to the Japanese international. Gaupse trying to meet that delivery. Thumped in by Spence. Relentless this, as Holt can't get the shot away. And United survive that scare.
Yeah, you asked what trick she had for you, and she showed you there, didn't she, Olivia Holt? Getting the little nutmeg in and trying to get on the other side of it, but Tottenham sustaining the pressure. But as you see here, 2 really important substitutions for Manchester United.
Ella Toone returns for Manchester United for the first time this calendar year after her absence through injury. And the England international will replace Leah Schuler. Huge noise from the away end. And then the light-for-light change at full-back, Lundqvist for Sandberg.
Yeah, we speak about Toone a lot as well, but we haven't really spoke about Anna Sandberg, but for me, she's a phenomenal full-back. She's got that energy and endeavour. She's solid in a 1v1 tackle, and she can create and provide assists as well. I think they've really missed her since she's been out, so really positive to see her back in the side as well.
Yeah, 2 months with a knee problem. For Toone, more than 4 months. Mallard shuffles it onto Park, who's back out on the United right. Nelson. Toone central, robbed by Holt. Tamberg. It was great work from the Spurs fans to make Holt aware that she was under pressure to set away Morris. Well, coming together, waved away by the referee. The Sandberg and Morris clash. Oh, in fact, it is a yellow card and a free kick right on the edge. How did you read that one, Fern?
I was looking at the response from Morris, to be fair, because originally, usually you can tell by a player's reaction what they think, and she didn't kick up too much of a stink and too much of a fuss. We see again here, Morris looks like she's got the beat in a Sandberg. Yeah, and here's a foul. Sandberg's got her arms all over Morris to pull her down, just on the edge of the area here.
Well, she knew to let go at a certain point, didn't she, for fear that a penalty would be given. And that's the first yellow card of the game, in fact, for the Manchester United fullback, just into it. Spence on the edge. Wimberg on the ball. Oh, Galbset! Surely! Oh, dragged wide by Morris. What a story that would have been. Great chance for Spurs. Manchester United survive.
Oh, it's a fantastic chance for Galbset inside the box. Morris with the follow-up, you can see they know just how close they were. Nobody reacts quick enough. Manchester United were caught sleeping there, but Tottenham couldn't capitalise on it. Even Olivia Holt was sat in the edge around the spot, unmarked as well. You just think they've got away with one there, Manchester United.
Ella Morris first starting nearly a year, perhaps should have scored, but here's Hermano. Spurs forward again. Riviere clears. Oh, the game's got a better pace to it now.
Yeah, it just feels a little bit more end-to-end, doesn't it? Olivia Holt, a fantastic ball there. Just to split the defence again. Just trying to open up Manchester United.
Hermano. Holt. Morris. Amanda Nilden thumps from range. Oh, and it's a good effort from Wimberg. Tallis Joyce saw it all the way.
Yeah, Nilden can do that as well. She's got a phenomenal strike on her with that left foot. Not how I think she saw that one panning out, but Wimberg does well to react. But again, it's an easy one for Tallis Joyce.
Hermano. Tamberg with the take. Offloads to Wimberg. Wimberg running and nearly squeezing it under Tallis Joyce. In fact, I'm not entirely sure how that stayed out.
She does so well here, Wimberg. Really, really positive from here. Riviere trying to slide, can't get near it. Just creeps under Tallis Joyce and manages to keep it out. I think not even she knew where that one was going to end up, to be honest.
She was very relieved to see that squirm behind. Great pressure this from Spurs. Wimberg hangs it up. Oh, and Spence wide. Well, Spurs have had their chances to score here. Tallis Joyce upset again at the way she's being dealt with. But Spurs have had 2 or 3 glorious openings now in the past few minutes.
This is arguably the best chance of the game. Tallis Joyce comes nowhere near it. And it falls so close to Drew Spence, and you can see what it means to her. She knows she's missed out on a golden opportunity there.
So in the past 3 minutes, I've got it Morris, Galbset, Wimberg, and now Spence with chances for Spurs. And in fact, these have come off of the back of the Manchester United double change, Fern.
Yeah, it's almost like sometimes you think two substitutions are going to completely change the game, but it looks like it's almost upset Manchester United's flow ever so slightly and allowed Tottenham to get themselves back into this game.
Rolfo. Mallard. Mallard, oh, it's extraordinary work. Eventually chopped down for a Manchester United free kick.
took 3 Tottenham players there to be in and around Mallard to eventually foul her to try and get the ball off her. But I thought the pressure initially from Koga was phenomenal. I think she's been fantastic for Tottenham so far. Yeah, it's a foul from Galpset that does it.
May Letitia to hang this in. Mallard nods it on, and big call from Lisa Kopp.
She's not had too much to do, Lisa Kopp, in the Tottenham goal, but I think when called upon, she's dealt with everything well. That was an easy one for her in the end from Mallard. But like you say, the game just opening up quite a bit now.
The last game here, Lisa Kopp was crucial in keeping the score down, as Spurs did eventually lose to Everton. She made some brilliant saves that day against the Toffees. WSL Football launched their brand new app, by the way, offering fans both the Barclays WSL and Barclays WSL 2 and a front row seat. To download the app for free, fans can search WSL Football in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store. Mallard muscled off of it by Amanda Nilden, who's looking more and more assured at centre-back as the game goes on. Wimberg has options. Can't force it through Miyazawa. Away by Letitia. That pass was on out there for Spurs. And look at the shot count.
Wow, if you just look at those stats. Tottenham 20 shots. Literally only 4 on target, but the 20 shots just shows you just how often they've been getting at Manchester United, getting in around their box, but they can't make this run of possession pay off for them.
Holt's cross is cleared. Spence back in. Galpset. Oh, it's Blackstad, in fact, who has the shot. And it whistles over the top from the fullback. Big puff of the cheeks from Tullis Joyce.
I think that puff of the cheeks says it all from Tullis Joyce, doesn't it? She knows that Tottenham have come here today to play, to win. Blackstad doing really well, just to muscle Ella Toon off the ball. It's a fierce shot to unleash. And again, you just feel like it's going to be one player just needing to take this game by the scruff of the neck because it's so end-to-end.
Well, there's the frustration for Martin Oath. Throws his bottle to the ground. His side were ruthless in the 3-3 draw earlier on in the season with their quality of shot, with the way they took their chances to go 3 up at United before that remarkable comeback in the final 17 minutes. Galpset. You can almost hear Martin Ho's post-match comments, can't you, if Spurs do not win this game?
Yeah, I think you're completely right. I think they have to try and put this game to bed because you say Manchester United can turn it on and can change at any point, but they have to make these chances count. Talk about like 61, 62% possession for Tottenham, dominating in a lot of areas on the pitch, but it's ultimately the goals that count at the end of the day.
It's now Everton 1, Chelsea 4. They're in Cuthbert with the 4th goal for Chelsea at Goodison Park. So right now, Chelsea moving 4 points clear of Manchester United, which would mean the fight for Champions League football might not even come down to that direct playoff, if you like, between Chelsea and Manchester United on final day. Galpset. Morris. Good ball into the middle, got flicked on. Park. Wants it back, will get it back, but it's too close to Amanda Nilden.
Yeah, she's been great today as well. Amanda Nilden in the centre of the park. That partnership between Here and Koga, I think they've done really well. Two with the right idea to try and play it into Jess Park, but ended up in being more of a 50-50 pass.
United are making a change in Ellen Vangerheim, who's back from an injury of her own, having been out for a month with a shin problem. Is going to come on. She replaces Rolfer, so positionally, like for Manchester United, still waiting for that first Barclays WSL goal.
Yeah, I think the Swede will come on and just try and again boost those attacking options for Manchester United, where it's not been quite clicking for them today. They've got quality in those areas, they're just not linking up very well as a side today at all.
That's the third United change, by the way. Mallard pings it to Park. It's a lovely take. Oh, the ball just behind Riviere. Forgive me, by the way, that is United's fourth change of the day, because Mallard came on at half-time. There's a yellow card coming out now for that foul. And United are not going to be given the right to take the free kick quickly.
It just slows it down now for Manchester United, doesn't it? They tried to play that quickly, but it's now allowed Tottenham to get themselves back into shape.
We saw that was flashed at Maika Hamano. It's a curling effort towards goal. Kopp spilt it, but she had Koga for support. Riviere, Mallard, back down, Toon. Sandberg. A shot from way out. It's way over the top.
Do you know what, the way the game's going today, though, you probably just think, why not? Because they've not had too many opportunities to challenge. It was Toon on this occasion to make Kopp work. A little bit of a nervy moment there within Tottenham's 6-yard box, but again, Millie Turner steps up and takes a shot from distance, and sometimes you kind of feel like that might be what it's going to take today for Manchester United. So they've not had too many opportunities.
Park. Riviere. It is a foul by Park. One that sees Blackstad sent tumbling off of the side of the pitch.
See, Riviere's trying to play a ball there into space, which for me isn't really there. Park shows her frustrations a little bit with the push in the back of Blackstad, but it's another forced ball from Manchester United.
Park back, Park wins it. Spence chests it down. Ella Morris, is she going to be asked to go the distance here on her first start in nearly a year? 78 minutes in the legs, back from that ACL injury now in this game.
That's not something we're used to seeing, is it, on players returning back to play? You get your standard 30, 45, 60, potentially try and build them in a little bit, but yeah, she's done really well so far since coming into this game.
Wimberg stays away from Miyazawa. They do have Josephine Rybrink on the bench. Who could come on at right back. Clean sheets have been a premium for Spurs of late. And in fact, only West Ham and Aston Villa have let in more goals this season in the Barclays WSL.
Yeah, which for me, Rob, is crazy. Spurs kept 5 clean sheets in their opening 12, and now haven't kept 1 in 7. And the amount of goals that they're leaking, yeah, I mean, this, to be at 0-0 now, I think this is an achievement in itself that they haven't conceded.
Hung up by Riviere. Kopp, well, that is commanding.
I thought that was going to be a commentator's curse there when I said that, but yeah, Kopp's done really well to come and claim for that one.
Spurs are going to make a change, looks like, because Leonard Gunning-Williams is imminent. From Enfield, just up the road from here, from the club's academy. Letitia deals with that. Spurs make the change, and Tinker Tamberg is the player withdrawn. She hasn't scored in the league since the 7-3 win at Aston Villa. But Gunning-Williams, European champion with England's under-23s during the international break, is on now.
Yeah, it's a positive substitution. I think Tamberg has worked her socks off today, hasn't quite had a couple of chances with her head in front of goal, couldn't get it past Fallon Tullis-Joyce, but to bring on Gunning-Williams, someone who's flying high on confidence right now, as you say, with that win with the young Lionesses and the under-23s, it's a positive change for them, and again, another attacking change.
Some of the chances that Spurs have had in this game had fallen the way of Tinker Tamberg. They would be leading this game. Spence, oof, risky. Malar juggles and moves and sees that she has Ella Toone advanced. Isolated now, Manchester United's number 7. London City 3-1 up on Leicester, by the way, in Bromley. Spurs have it back. Ooh, it looks like Gunning-Williams was off. Are we going to have a winner here? Turner.
You still do feel like the game is not done yet, don't you, and not over, especially given the way it's been so end-to-end and the chances that Tottenham have created.
Time for Toone. Too much time. Trying to wheel free. Finds Malar, who will have a shot at goal. And it just has enough momentum to trickle behind for another corner. She's been United's second half bright spark.
Yeah, just a change of pace when she's got the thought in her mind that she wants to get the shot off. I think we'll see it again here, but for me, I think it's Nilden with the on-rushing tackle. She's been phenomenal today in Tottenham's defence. Well, it's about whether they can stay mentally switched on now, Tottenham. They've not had too many corners to face from Manchester United this game.
United go short. And find Park, who loves shooting from these areas. And Kopp claims it well.
Yeah, just falls to Park. Does really well just to wait patiently, just to get a strike off. Straight into the arms of Lisa Kopp. But we know too well Manchester United like scoring late in games, don't they? Especially considering if you look at the game where the sides played each other, scoring those goals late on, they won't think that this game is done and over by any stretch of the imagination.
Gabset. It's a bit laboured there as Nelson challenges. Moved on by Park. Toone. That's good pressure, and there's actually, you can see the fresh legs of a second half substitute springing into action.
Yeah, real fresh legs there. It's almost like she needed to slow down, didn't she? She was going too quick into the tackle. with Letitia. It's what they say in defending. The art of defending is how you can slow down when you get into those really quick positions when you are pressing, just so you can't be skipped past. But again, it's slowed it up and it's allowed their team to get him back into a good shape now into that 4-4-2.
Sandberg. Spurs trying to keep United in their own half. Right now moving a point above Arsenal, but Arsenal would have 3 games in hand. And unless they win here, United are going to be 4 points behind Chelsea. Malar running at Koga. Melvin Malar, and the deflection saw that skew the ball away from goal.
Yes, Park with the initial pass out on the left-hand side just to find Mallard, who's driving at Koga. Deflects off her back leg, I think it is Koga again. She's just really patient in the way she defends. Knows she can't let her get too close to goal before she gets the shot off.
Well, now it's Manchester United racking up chances. What move next for Martin Ho? Does have substitutes he can use. Headed away comfortably by Spurs. Comes back out to Sandberg with 3 in the middle for Manchester United, including Malar. Oh, Kopp is there once again to claim the ball so well.
She does look so assured in that Tottenham goal, doesn't she? Confident, is willing to come and claim anything aerially. And Sandberg just trying to put the pressure on this time, but you see she just comes and claims. Millie Turner pulling up in the aftermath of that.
Well, that looked painful for Millie Turner. Maybe just jarred her knee, Fern, as she hit the turf. A quick chance for Mark Skinner to relay instruction.
Yeah, I think he's speaking to his players, and again, just showing them and, you know, emphasising the importance of continuing to push until that final whistle. You see she's holding on her knee, Millie Turner there.
Remember,
she's had knee injuries in the past, hasn't she?
That's right, yep. Including this season, suffered one back in September. That wasn't as bad as they initially feared. Something must not have felt right there for the experienced defender to go down like that.
No, and they're being sure in their assessments, aren't they? They're taking their time with this one, making sure they don't put her under any undue stress or strain. You can see she's doing that with her hands. Potentially it's the impact, as you said, Rob. Opportunity for players to just take on a little bit of water, get a bit of a breather. Hot out there today, big pitch, a lot of distance, a lot of ground to be covered.
Well,
and it's that mentality as well, isn't it? You know, that kind of that thinking in and around. We've got to stay on this with our brains, not just our legs. So trying to stay switched on.
Encouraging, at least for Mark Skinner, that Dominic Janssen, starting centre-back, who was needed in midfield at times as well for Manchester United, that she's back training. Are United going to have to take off their centre-back? You saw that brilliant winning goal against London City Lionesses recently. So United are making a change, and Gabby George is going to come on for the final stages.
Yeah, and it's a solid substitution in terms of the player and the personnel that is coming on. You can see her still explaining what it is that happens, that jolting and potentially that jarring, but you know, Gabby George, sorry, has got some got to try and stay switched on now, because Tottenham have been coming firing on all cylinders at Manchester United's back line.
So we're going to have a big chunk of added time at the end of the 90 here. It's Gabby George, a very experienced player in her own right, who had an ACL injury a few years back. Comes into the United's back line, but that's good pressure from Manchester United. A reminder, Spurs have never beaten United in the Barclays WSL as we head towards the final moments of the match. Been told we might have up to 6 minutes. Sandberg into Malar. Koga, front foot again, stepping out from centre-back. Oh, there was a pass on to Wimberg down the left side for Spurs. Galbset. And Wimberg has got space ahead of Galbset, who holds on and holds on. Wimberg has it now. Riviere committed, didn't make any contact. Confirmation of the 6 additional at the end of the 90. Wimberg. Deep one. Hermano. Holt. Toom with a challenge. Some miscommunication sees United get the ball back.
Yeah, well, as you can see, Holt just expecting her to come and step onto that. A little bit of lack of communication. It's going to be really, really key for them that they stay on it in these closing moments.
Hermano, good challenge. Gunning-Williams under pressure from Letitia. Can't get it back to Hermano. Good link-up play, but eventually, well, it looks like perhaps just some cramping up here for Olivia Holt.
Yeah, she's ran her socks off today, Olivia Holt, hasn't she? She's really put her shift in, and see it coming out in the form of cramp in these last, or suspected cramp in these last 5 minutes.
Getting a hand from Anna Sandberg. Well, she wants to come off. Gesture to the bench that they should actually make a change.
Maybe she's felt something potentially more there, actually, and more than what first thought, if she's wanting to come off so soon.
Evelina Summanen, not a tactically direct replacement, you'd argue, more of a holding midfielder, but she's on.
Yeah, she'll just come in with that composure, won't she? That experience, come and steady the ship for Tottenham in midfield a little bit.
Blackstad forward, Gunning-Williams. Oh, she's nipped it around Letitia, and she's in! Oh, what a moment and what a chance to win it for Tottenham Hotspur. The youngster in the dying moments.
Oh, she just couldn't make it count, could she? She manages to get the shot off, but it was all too easy for Tullis Joyce.
Morris must be exhausted at this point. Can't keep that in play. Popped up towards Malar, up by Summanen.
Yeah, again, we see it again here. It's just that turn of pace from Gunning-Williams, just to nick the ball past Maya Letitia, gets a shot off, but it's unfortunately a weak striker on goal, and she can't make her work.
Ball in towards Malar. Spurs can let that go behind. Still feel like this game has got one major moment left. But for young Lena Gunning-Williams, shooting towards the south stand, it was the moment she's been dreaming of, I'm sure.
Yeah, and what a time to do it that would have been in these closing stages to get the winner after such a dominant performance for Tottenham Hotspur.
Chelsea into added time, 4-1 up at Everton. London City beating Leicester 5-1 after a flurry of second-half goals. Spence. United free kick. So technically going above Arsenal, but Mark Skinner will know, I imagine, Fern, that this isn't enough really to draw points to this draw games at this time of the season, as Letitia looks to weigh up the chance to flick this free kick forward. High and direct. Malar tries to get there, Kopp. Not for the first time, so sharp off of her line.
They're trying to push now, aren't they, Manchester United, in these closing stages, but you've just got to think, is it all coming too little too late for them?
Upset. Summonen. Hamano just slips. Good tackle on Park. Shifted forward, Spurs on the attack again. Your Barclays player of the match, Fern.
For me, I've gone for Amanda Nilden today. I think we spoke about her a lot during this game, going forward, and also when she has been faced with challenges defensively, I think she's been phenomenal.
Spurs looking for the winner. Gunning Williams back across. Won't quite break to a player in Lily White. On by Park. Malar. Nilton with some more defending to do before the game's end, and she stands up as she has done all day.
Yeah, and I think, you know, just to talk about it a little bit more, I think when she's had those opportunities and she's been really faced and challenged, we've just seen it there in the 1v1 battle with Mallard, who is such a difficult attacker to come up against, and centre-half isn't a position she has been used to playing this season. It's been more of a wide area, so I think she's stepped up to the plate today.
Well, look, the severity of the situation here for United is clear, because Tullis Joyce is up for Manchester United. Mark Skinner knows that really they have to go and win this game. These are the risks to take at this time in the season. The delivery looks good, but Kopp's claim is better. And Spurs now looking to move this quickly. Well, Malar will get a yellow card, and United more than happy to disrupt that any way they could.
Yeah, again, it's Kopp in Tottenham's goal, isn't it? She just comes and claims. She's trying to play it quickly. Malar getting herself booked. In the meantime, a right smile, but again, it's an opportunity for them to, you know, the game's kind of running out, and again, it's another opportunity lost for Manchester United.
And you can see the frustration for United. Yes, Spurs have to wait for that first Barclays WSL win against United, and they'll be ruining, no doubt, the hosts here, some of the chances that they failed to take. Amanda Nilden, the star performer,